Okay, so for you, what's your favorite match you've been in?
Just because of the effect that it had on wrestling and women's wrestling in general, I would say I had a lights out
Yeah.
match, a no DQ match with Thunder Rosa during the pandemic, which we got bloodied up, and there it was the first time really, within I don't even know how many years that there was a girl covered in blood on TV and going through ladders, going through tables, thumbtacks, and it kind of like made us we had to level up because if the guys are doing that too, okay, well I want to do it too. I want to show that I'm just as tough and bad as they
Yeah.
are. And it really got a huge reaction because it was also the first ever women's main event
Mm,
for AEW. No women had main evented before, which of course all the pressure's on. I knew all eyes were going to be on this, and there's always those people that they want something like this to
right.
fail. Like, oh, the women are main eventing, this is gonna suck. And I'm like, oh no, we're not having that today. But just everything that came out of that, I there's a shirt. It's so ugly that just has my bloody face on it, and there's like blood in my eyes. And it was a top selling T-shirt. And when they showed me it, I was like, oh my god, that's so ugly. No one's gonna buy that. And it was like a top selling T-shirt. I got the first ever women's bloody action figure made. So
Wow.
that's really cool to be a part of history. There's not a single women's wrestling action figure with blood on it except for
Oh my
mine,
god.
which is really cool. I'm the first one.
Wow. Okay, so like with the
So
blood and
just
stuff, like
having
do you just are you are you actually hurt from your matches? Like can you recall any big injuries that like have come from like those big time matches you've had?
yeah, well, so in that one specifically, I didn't have any major injuries, but just everything hurt like horribly. I could barely walk for the next week, but I actually had to go to the dental office the next day, and like all across my back and up my arms, I had thumbtack marks. So a couple of my patients saw all these little teeny tiny scabs, and they're like, "What the hell is that? Like, what is that?" And that's like a hard conversation to have with your patient. Like, "Oh, they're thumbtacks. Don't worry about it." But no, I really went through it within the or a couple of years ago. I broke my leg, I broke my wrist, I broke my
Oh,
nose, and I had earlier before that I had a pretty nasty concussion.
oh,
So there's always something going on. It's it's people say like wrestling's fake, wrestling's fake. Well, no, it's not. It's people still get hurt, and everything we do does
yeah.
hurt. It's just a different form of entertainment on top of it too.
Well, Britt, I got a story for you. So I remember before my rookie year, like when I was training to get ready for the combine, we had the Senior Bowl coming up, and before I was in the Senior Bowl, I had torn my elbow, and so I had to get Tommy John surgery,
Hmm.
and so I'm going through surgeries. Like it took a while for me to recover, and I couldn't do anything in the Senior Bowl. But I was bleeding through like a collared shirt, and then trying to introduce myself to like all these NFL coaches, and I was just like,
Oh my
oh, like I was like so embarrassed. I was like, yeah, I want to be on your team, but like I'm kind of bleeding through my shirt right now.
Did they play it off or did they acknowledge it? Did they act like they didn't see it or were they like, "Wait,
Yeah, they
what?"
were just like, you do know you're bleeding through your shirt, right? And so I was like, yeah. But I was like,
Aw,
I'll see you at the pro day. Can't do anything right now, but yeah, there's plenty of blood to go around.
aw.
I'm watching wrestling right now, and we're appreciating, but I feel like there's almost been a renaissance of women's wrestling. Would you say that?
Yeah, it's the women's wrestling revolution in a sense. At one point they were a bathroom break, 2 minute, 3 minute match, and it was a kind of a joke, and women weren't taken seriously. And then if there was a big women's match on the show, it was like a whole special event, a marquee event. But now women main event all the time. Women have huge title matches on the pay per views, just like the guys. And obviously, there's still a little, but there's more men's wrestlers, period, than women's
Mm,
wrestlers. So there's far more men's matches than women, but for the women to be in the spotlight and have the big angles and the good spots on the show, that's all very much changing, and it's becoming more of a
mm,
norm for the equality. And then just the nature of professional wrestling, some of the guys are more athletic or they can do crazier things, but the women are right there in their own sense, keeping up with the
Right.
crazy.
I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
So, what would be your dream match going forward?
Ooh, I like feel like I change this every time I get asked, but I like so when I was training, when I first started training, I studied like every single night at the four horsewomen who are Bayley, Sasha Banks, Charlotte Flair, and Becky
Mm-hmm.
Lynch. And I always said any one of them would be a dream match for me. And I always switch which one and why, but maybe right now I'll say Bayley, just because she had a really bad injury right now that she's coming
Mm-hmm.
back from, and if it's anything like me, my best was like I turned a new page. It was a new Britt Baker when I came back from my injury. I had a new energy, new everything. And if that's what's about to come out for her, Bayley's got that new, bad B energy. I want her. I want to square up against her because it's coming. She's gonna be even better than
Wow,
before, and she's already
dude,
great.
that's awesome.
Bayley, yeah, Bayley, a role model, right? Well, I don't think so. Let's see it. Bring it over to my side. Cross over to my side. Well, Forbidden Door, right? Can you walk through it?
Mm.
I don't know. I can. Can you? Anyway, we'll see. We'll see. Can you keep up with the
Ooh,
D.M.D?
oh, I need the DMD again. You got to do the DMD. There you go.
D.M.D.
There you